All right, we are back. Hello, everybody. A simple pie chart is raiding with a party of 4. Thank you for the raid. Welcome to Pie Gang. I don't know what your community is called, but welcome. Joining us here at Impact Gaming Center for our Riftbound Nexus Nights. We are here in the third and final round at Table 1. These players are undefeated. We got Dakota playing some Ahri, kind of an interesting Ahri brew with some Mystic Reversals and some other stuff you don't typically see. And Lucas playing some Yi. So it looks like Lucas starts us off with a Poro. Before passing it over to Dakota, his players are starting with an extra rune this game, thanks to our battlefield. So Dakota's going to start us off with a Ravenbloom student and pass it back to Lucas for his turn. But hey, if you're joining us off that raid and you're here for the first time, this is Impact Gaming Center. I'm Art here with you in the booth. We stream Riftbound every single Thursday. Our Nexus Nights every single Thursday start at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. 3 rounds of 1v1 competitive Swiss. And if that sounds like that's your cup of tea, toss us a follow while you're here. We also stream Pokemon on Tuesdays, Magic Modern on Fridays. So all sorts of card games coming to you from our channel. Looks like a Sabotage came down from Lucas, so he's going to take a look and take a pick. It looks like he's got a Stupefy, Consult the Past, and a Discipline to choose from. For those unfamiliar, Impact Gaming Center, we are a 21,000 square foot gaming center here in Fairview Heights, Illinois, which is basically the suburbs of St. Louis, Missouri. Just 15 minutes from downtown. So if you're in the Midwest or if you're ever passing through the St. Louis area, make sure to swing by, give us a look. One of the biggest card stores in the country. And got a little something for everybody, whether it's card games, miniature gaming, board gaming. We've got a full 30-person LAN center. And we are playing games in here every night. Lucas is content to play a Kiana for his turn and pass it back. Dakota's going to play hands up there with that Sabotage. A little friendly courtesy there. Dakota's happy to just go ahead and take the other point and start down that Ahri game plan of holding on to 1 point for dear life. As Dakota decides, do I play it to the point or to base? Looks like we're going to sit Ahri in base for now. And hide the Consult the Past from the revealed hand. What could it be? All right, Lucas holds up to 2 points now. Sitting with a Defy in hand, 2 White Flame Protectors. Oof. And I think, oh, yep, first mate. So Lucas knows what's in that hidden spot, but that Ravenbloom student is a lot bigger than she seems. That Discipline's ready to fire off the rip. The Consult the Star Charts. That's Magic the Gathering. Consult the Past is ready to flip. So Ravenbloom is realistically a 4, and that's assuming that Dakota's 1 card in hand that we don't know what it is isn't an on guard or something else, which would just turn into a blowout for that Kiana. So is he going to go for it? No real interaction in Lucas's hand. He does have the Defy that he could have countered one of those spells. I think I kind of go for it there. I think I Defy the Consult the Past and just see if there's anything else in hand. Because the longer you wait and let Ahri generate card advantage and momentum on a point, the harder she is to shake off. Yep, and see, we're going to lose the Kiana anyway to a singularity. So you cannot defy that. That's why you've really got to play aggressively against an Ahri. She is effectively a control deck, as control-y as it gets in Origins. And you really can't just sit back and wait against her, because she will outpace you in the end game. Very much a mid-range control deck. So gotta play aggressive when you can. A couple White Flame Protectors drew into a Find Your Center. Oof, this does not feel good. Oh, I actually went with the Yi. Okay, I thought we were throwing down a White Flame. Yep. Yi's going to move in. Yi is ready. That is his basically ability, so that he enters ready. So he moves in and maintains Lucas's lead 3-2. And now, of course, he is defending alone, so he is bigger thanks to Master Yi's Legend ability. But let's see what Dakota gets going. I'm kind of surprised that Dakota did... Well, Dakota's probably holding the Consult the Past for a key moment with the Ravenbloom student. And Dakota's not hurting for cards in hand anyway, so no real reason to rip the Consult early. Or he's going to pull back to base, get reinforced a little bit with a Poro there, and Dakota's going to keep plenty of runes available before passing back to Lucas, who will hold and go to 4. There we go. Thank you, Dakota. Now Lucas has got some action. First mate, on guard, counterspell backup. Lucas could make some things happen here. I'd be ganking that E across and picking a fight. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you've done it now. Do it. Here comes the big boy. He's thinking about undoing it. White Flame, going to buff the Yi. Then the Yi's going to gank over, I assume. Oop. Yeah. Dakota's got plenty of tricks, but Dakota's not going to be able to get that Ravenbloom student that big. You're looking at a 13 Yi right now, I believe. Including the Ahri Legend ability. I don't know if this is an Aurora Yi or if it's the non-Aurora variant. We haven't seen an Aurora in hand yet. I'm a fan of the non-Aurora variant, personally. Lots of stuff in Dakota's hands, including a playable Tasty Fey Folk. Oh, we're going to Discipline. Okay. Looks like we're getting the Ahri ready for a fight. Both of those units are just waiting to be picked off. Lucas is tapped out, so no combat tricks coming. That Ahri will trigger, obviously. I'm going to push them both on in. So Yi trigger, Ahri trigger. So they effectively cancel each other out and then trade off. Bringing Dakota to 4. So Dakota's still got some ground to make up. But plenty of runes, plenty of cards in hand to do it. Shame Dakota didn't have a way to get that Ahri a little bit bigger, because being able to do that and then charm the White Flame over to kill that as well would have been not GG, but pretty close to it. But now Lucas has got plenty of runes. He's got a couple on guards. Got a defy. Interestingly, chooses to bring the White Flame back. First mate ready. Okay, you're just going to go pick a fight with the Poro. Dakota not quite in range to give Lucas a cheap find your center. But White Flame's going to move in, immediately eat the Ahri trigger to go down to 7, but Dakota's just going to let it go. Pushes Lucas to 7. Going to go ahead and pay the iron price for the find your center. Channel Rune exhausted, draw a card. Oh, Dakota says, hold on, I might be countering that. Yeah, Dakota says, you're good, you're good. All right, Dakota's got to answer this White Flame right now, or it is GG. Does Dakota have a Thousand Tail in hand? So that's one immediate answer. Does have a Charm, but a Charm doesn't do it on its own. Tasty Feyfolk. Only has 9 runes, so if we accelerate out the Tasty Feyfolk, we're not leaving a lot to work with. Dakota's definitely in a dangerous spot here, but it looks like that's probably what we're going to do. Yep, 8 and 2, or 8 and 1 rather, excuse me. So that's a Tasty Feyfolk accelerated. Okay, we go to 5. What's the, oh, and then we're going to charm over. Or charm back, right? Yeah, you wouldn't want to charm over. It would just be instant loss. Yep, and that's GG. Defies the charm, which just allows Lucas to hold and go to 8. So Lucas does take game 1. Oh my gosh, this webcam. Why is this so close to me? Go away. Do I have my webcam thing? So many apps involved. I had no idea until I started streaming here. How many... Is it this thing? How many different apps were involved with streaming? Okay, here we go. Is this it? Oh my god, thank goodness. I don't need people to see my pores. All right, there we go. Anyway, hi everybody. If you're still joining us from that raid, hi there. I'm Art with you here in the booth at Impact Gaming Center. We're in the final round of tonight's Riftbound Nexus Nights at Impact. Game 1 went to Lucas playing as Yi. Pretty dominant game there. That was pretty rough. The mid-range Yi deck really kind of did its full game plan there. unanswered. So that was a good game from Lucas. But tonight is the last night of Origins only for Riftbound. So next week, next Thursday, we'll be coming back with our usually scheduled Nexus Night, but this time with Spirit Forged. So I know a lot of people excited about that. A lot of people this week here in the store had to come in and quickly fix their decks and reconstruct their Origins decks. So people weren't sure if they were going to be able to do Spirit Forge this week or not. We couldn't do it. It's not officially out, which means it's not officially legal for sanctioned play, and we're obviously not going to hold an unsanctioned event here on the channel. So, did one last Riftbound Origins bout here this week. Our players got incentivized a little bit. Everybody that came in this week to play is walking away with one bonus pack. So, minimum packs this week for all of our players are 2 Origins packs. Tournament entry is only $10. So, even if you don't win a single game, you're still walking away in the green. In the black? Both. So, looks like our players have sideboarded up, though, so we're going to jump back over to them. Looks like we got a Vilemaw's Lair and a Grove of the Godwillow this game. Dakota, I'm sure, will be going first on Ahri. Nope, Jordan Bones, we are not doing that. Sure not, buddy. Don't have anything nice to say? Don't say it at all. Oh, if he's your friend, you should probably lead with that. You're lucky I was very slow on the moderation. We have a new computer, so I didn't have my mod panel pulled up because you were about to be timed out. So, GG. All right, that's good. If you know him, I'll let it slide. And if you don't know him and you made up that lie on the spot, good for you. Slick pivot. But typical couple turn 1 plays here. We have Mask of Foresight with an Ahri down for Dakota and a happy little Poro boy down for Lucas. Poro's going to move in, take that Grove of the Godwillow. Don't think that Dakota's going to have much to say about it. Move 1 zip. Now we're deciding what do we do with the rest of our runes here. Do we play the Kiana and risk her just getting blown up by a singularity just like last game? Last game was exactly what happened. We played a Kiana on this turn with this exact same play line with a Poro already in play, and then both died to singularity. Singularity, of course, not an immediate threat. Singularity is 6 energy, so Dakota couldn't do it immediately anyway, but gonna pull the Ahri in. That's pretty good. No defy from Dakota. Do have an on guard, and the Ahri is going to trigger and nerf theoretically either one, because the defender does put the Poro up to 3. The Ahri does have +1 from the Mask of Foresight, triggering the -2 for her champion ability. So Ahri could win this. So right now, Lucas is only showing 5. Okay. And we're back. They had a judge call. They were asking about how the Poro worked with Ahri's triggered ability. Shield, of course, is not a trigger. It is a keyword, a static keyword that occurs during cleanups. As soon as the combat starts, that triggers, he becomes a 3, and thus if he's hit by the Ahri trigger, he goes to 1. So that's what they were asking about. It looks like they cleaned up that combat, and Ahri did take it with an on guard. Poro to base. Luke is sitting on another white flame. Tempo's on the other foot, though, this game. Dakota is ahead. And holding a point with Ahri, which is very annoying for any non-Ahri players to deal with. It's basically immediate -3 as soon as you attack. Or really -2 + 1 in. Where in is the number of creatures attacking. Going to charm the Poro forward. Which definitely hurts if you're Lucas, but then again, seeing a charm burned on a Poro is not the end of the world. Pretty purely a tempo play. Reinforced with the Ravenbloom student. I think we're passing it back. Does choose to keep the Ravenbloom student back. He always makes me think about pumpkin. The green-orange runes look very pumpkin to me. Pumpkin themed. Turn it all sideways. Here he comes. It is remarkable how similar to last game this game is playing out. It's like turn by turn. It's almost the exact same cards. Combats are going a slightly different way because of interaction and the tempo difference between going first and second. But very similar game. Hide a card. Probably Zonia's Hourglass. I had to guess. Don't even know what else it could be, to be honest, off the top of my head. Probably blanking, forgetting one card it could be, but probably his own Hourglass. Another charm for that Yi would be absolutely devastating. Singularity's pretty good too, though. Zonya is pushing back. Grim Bloom will take that advantage and bump Dakota up to 5. Pit Rookie. Get some fun ganking going on now. Potentially, depending on what else is in Lucas's hand. But we can get that E buffed up anyway. White Flame. How many? I can't quite see how many runes Lucas has got. Does he have 7 or 8? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 7. Okay, so we're out of White Flame range anyway. So Pit Rookie Kiana. And main threats in hand. Pit Rookie. Buffing up our Yi. That die is almost impossible to see. Probably not be able to remember that's there. But Yi is going to move in. Now, how much interaction does Dakota have? 2 and 1. That's can only, yeah, I was going to say that's going to be a Rune Prison. Oh, man, and Lucas with no counterspell backup. Oof. Yep. Slide on back. Oh, that temporary stream mute brought to you by a sneeze. Kiana coming down to base. That's going to be it. And in a rough bit there, Dakota is going to go to 7. Thankfully, out of Time Warp rune range. Don't even know that Dakota's playing Time Warp in this list. But we're 2 turns away from it anyway, so not relevant. See a White Flame? Oh, nope, there's Time Warp. I can see it. I see the 4 blue runes. Six and 2. 7 and 2, okay. I was like, I don't know what 6 and 2 would be, but that looks like we're just tapping down a bunch of stuff anyway. So Stupefy first. Followed by Singularity. Is that what it is? Yeah. Boom, boom. That is pretty much game. Don't know that he's going to scoop it here on that, but there's pretty much no coming back from that. Going to be able to White Flame this turn, probably. Buff the Pit Rookie up, potentially kill one thing. But I don't see a way to take both these points with the runes Lucas has. So I think he has exactly White Flame runes. Yeah, he has exact White Flame runes, so he can take one of these, not both. Yep. He's going to pick it up. And game 2 is going to go to Dakota. Another good game there. Lucas is pretty behind on points, but it was still a pretty interactive game. And if Lucas just had a couple more runes there, he potentially could have turned that around quite a bit because Dakota was very drained on runes by the end there. So if Lucas could clear both of those points instead of just one, it would have been a big shift, and potentially it would have been very hard for Dakota to ever get that 8th point. So didn't look like that game was very close, but it was closer than you think. We're back to the booth. Hello. So these players get ready for the third and final game of tonight's Riftbound Nexus Night. I will remind you that I'm Art here with Impact Gaming Center in Fairview Heights, Illinois. We're just 15 minutes from downtown St. Louis, so we're basically in the St. Louis suburbs. 21,000 square foot gaming center. Sits over 200 people. Regularly fill it up on our big game nights. We play everything here from Magic to Pokemon to One Piece to Riftbound to Gundam to Card Fight, Yu-Gi-Oh! You name a card game, we play it here. Final Fantasy, Universes, Union Arena. Any card game you can name, we pretty much play it here. We also got people playing 40K, Blood Bowl, the Star Wars minigame, Battletech, all sorts of minigaming happening here all the time. Age of Sigmar. Also got people playing board games here all the time. We got 2 tables out there right now, folks playing some board games. We got 1 table out there, a D&D group that plays here every Thursday. So always a ton going on. Got a 30-person LAN center in the back. It's very cheap. And got a full board game section up front. So tons going on in here. We encourage everybody that's in the area, anywhere around the Midwest, traveling through St. Louis, come check us out at Impact Gaming Center. We'd love to see you. You can check out our full store inventory online at impactgamingcenter.gg. Got very competitive prices with TCG Player, Amazon Miniature Market, all the big names. Shipped almost anywhere in the world. So come check us out if you're curious. We'd love to earn your business. But otherwise, if you don't want to do any of that and you want to toss us a follow because you enjoy our streaming content, you like seeing Riftbound, Magic the Gathering, and Pokemon on a weekly basis, we'd love for you to do that. And if you're joining us on YouTube, same thing, because all of our streamed games do go up on YouTube in the weeks following the events. So tons of old Magic, Pokemon, and Riftbound content on our YouTube. If you want to see more matches, you can go back and watch some of the old ones. But otherwise, we're going to swing back over to the battlefield for Game 3. Lucas probably going first here, I'd assume. For those not as familiar with the game, quick and easy rule is if you're playing against Ahri, go first. You do not want Ahri going first. Clockwork Keeper coming down from Lucas for a passing back. Bang, as I knock stuff over in my stream room. Battlefields for this match are fortified position, which is not one you see a lot, but it's when you defend there, you can give them shield, I believe 2. And the other is Grove of the God Willow, which I think we all know at this point. One of the most played battlefields in the game. Just when you hold there, you draw 1. It's very, very good for pretty much every deck. Not to say every deck plays it, but... How many people are running Lux decks? I hope it's more than 0. 0 here. Lux and Garen and Lee Sin are regrettably, and Jinx are just regrettably not very good. It's the unfortunate truth. They are cool, but every single one of them has a different legend in the game that does what they do, but better. As a big Lux fan myself from League of Legends, does pain me to say that, but... Poro coming down from Lucas. We have had people play Lux in the past. We have people play off-meta stuff all the time. Like occasionally somebody will play Lux or play Lee Sin or whatever, but I don't think anybody's playing Lux tonight. Passing it back to Dakota, though. See what they can get going after they're lecturing Yordle on their first turn. Lecture Earl's gonna push up. Luke says, sure. Take us to 1-all. Surely that's not all Dakota's doing on his turn. Dakota doesn't look super happy about what's going on, though. They may not be super happy with their hand. I don't know what's in it. It's being held off screen, so I can't quite see. I see a charm. My screen here in the booth's a lot fuzzier than actually watching the stream, so some folks might be able to see what's going on there in Dakota's hand. I can't. I gotta pretty much be able to see the card art to be able to tell what it is, unless it's something like Time Warp where it's very clearly four power on a card. But I'm gonna bring Ahri down from the champ zone before passing on back, taking Lucas to 2 on the hold. Let's see how long before Dakota remembers to bump the points up for Lucas. I'll always give them until the end of their turn before I remind them. It's one nice thing about being on stream. You've got a judge that's watching your every move and maintaining game state. There it is. A little bit late, but we remembered the hold and the Grove of the Godwillow draw. Looks like we're content with the Kiana to the Grove play, though. Going to pull the Clockwork Keeper back. That's kind of interesting. That's blatantly telegraphing you have interaction in your hand, because otherwise you're just sitting the Ahri there to die. I'm sorry, sitting the Kiana there to die to the Ahri. So Dakota immediately knows that Lucas has something in hand to interact. Dakota holds and goes to 2, channels up to 6 runes, draws a card. Grove of the God. Thousand Dale Watcher was Dakota's draw. So now Dakota has to think about what interaction does Lucas have. With the runes available, you know, you're looking at maybe an on guard with the Phi backup. Looking at a discipline maybe. You know, there's a few different options here. So Dakota's gonna go ahead and lock in some interaction here. Ahri immediately triggers, bringing Kiana down a bit. On guard for Ahri. On guard for Kiana. I was going to say, yeah, take the 2 off because it's basically a wash. The deflect cost is paid, I believe, for the trigger. I think that is what the 1 down was. Then we smoke screen. So now we have 2. Trying to figure out where all the power costs are coming from. Recycled 3. I'm only seeing where 2 came from. Because 2 things targeted Kiana for the deflect. So I'm not sure why the 3rd was recycled. 1, 2. 1. Oh, right. Because smokescreen costs 1. Duh. Math. But the Pro is going to back it up. A lot of resources dumped there to take care of the Kiana. Deflect, given a lot of resource value there. So losing your Kiana doesn't feel good, but pushing Ahri down to 3 runes while you're about to be sitting on 8, that feels pretty good if I'm in Lucas's seat. But we do have to get something moving. We can't just let Ahri sit on these points and start double scoring every turn. Dakota is down to 1 rune, so if you're Lucas, you just have to assume worst case scenario and that there's an on guard sitting in hand. Possibly a defy, but on guard's scarier here with that Yordle by himself. Double charm in Lucas's hand. Couldn't see what else was in Lucas's hand, so I'm not sure what the big drop is here. Of 7-1, yeah. Yeet. Yeet. Still have the double charm in hand. And plenty of runes, so wouldn't be worried about using it. So now that we've got that Yi down, the blue Ahri is still very tough to take down, as she's effectively a -3 to anything that attacks her. So Lucas is probably thinking about how he wants to do this in terms of what he wants to try and kill, what he wants to prioritize. He could very easily kill the Lecturing Yordle and the Poro. Just kill the Yordle, charm the Poro over, kill it as well. And just leave the Ahri to deal with later. But the longer you let the Ahri sit there, the more runes Dakota is going to regenerate, the more card advantage Dakota is going to generate, and the harder the Ahri is going to be to deal with. So Lucas is probably trying to figure out, can I deal with this Ahri now while she is vulnerable? Interesting. That is the one line I had not considered, was stacking it all on top of 1 point. What's the play here? Huh. This is an interesting exchange, because the Poro, the Yi is 5 going into the Poro's 3, if you consider the Ahri Legend. So worst case is that you trade with an on guard. Best case is you 2-for-1 them. And worst case is you do what you just did, get charmed over, and get absolutely blown out. Yeah, I think that charm last turn, I can't say for sure what the thought line was, but that felt like a bit of a misplay, unfortunately. I think you have to risk the trade and getting on guarded the Yi, because if it doesn't happen, you 2-for-1 and Ahri is left alone. Worst case, this happens. But Poro's going to move in, keep chasing the points, not let Dakota get too far ahead. Got to find your center. Still expensive, though, right now. Okay, we're going to go ahead and find your center. Tells me Lucas must be digging for something right now, because otherwise, if he just waits 1 turn for Dakota to hold that point, it's 1 instead of 3. So had to be digging for something he could play for 5 or less. Another expensive Find Your Sinner. Goodness. Stocking up for next turn, maybe. Find Your Sinner is an action, so Lucas may have just been playing it safe and not counting on ever having an opportunity to play it on Dakota's turn. But Ted Rex, big alligator, comes down and eats a Poro. All right, and Lucas is at max runes. He's got a White Flame, a Charm. Looks like I think a Rune Prison, a First Mate. So he can White Flame First Mate if he wants to. Could White Flame the Clockwork First Mate, ready the White Flame, get big. Dakota is tapped out, so Lucas has sufficient might here to clear the Ahri, which is what I would be doing while the Ahri is vulnerable. So 8 and dose. So 8 and 2. Buffs the Clockwork Keeper. Are we not doing the first mate line? So Keeper is a 10 right now. Now a 7. Yep, still plenty big enough. No interaction from Dakota, obviously tapped out on runes. So yeah, pretty much the play line we were thinking it was going to be there. So Lucas starting to swing this back in the right direction. Dakota is starved on runes. Dakota does play seals in the deck. We've seen none of them. Going to charm up the Rex too. Just completely Wrath of God Dakota's board. And just like that, this game is very different. Because Dakota cannot Thousand Tail this turn. And that may be GG. Like, you can potentially Singularity, but that's just going to be hell on Dakota's runes. You know, you can Singularity the Keeper and the First Mate and keep Lucas to 7 on his turn, but then you're right back to where you were next turn. Dakota would be back to 6 runes on his next turn. Still looking at a White Flame Protector. Okay, well, there's exactly what I said. So Singularity. It's the don't lose the game this turn play. I can see the future. But like I said, we're going to be right back to where we were on Dakota's next turn, which is 6 runes, staring down a White Flame Protector without any easy way to deal with it. Yeah, and Lucas has got Counterspell back up right now, as well as a Rune Prison. Yeah, I mean, Lucas should just... I mean, you could play down the Kiana. If I'm in Lucas's seat, I pass. I just say go ahead and just sit on the Rune Prison and the Counterspell backup and just force the issue. But sure, you can reinforce the point, make it even harder. You should still have 1, 2... Yeah, Lucas still has the runes for the Rune Prison and the Counterspell, so no reason not to put the Kiana down. Draws the White Flame and a GG. Lucas is going to take it. Great match. GG to both of our players. Thanks to them for being on stream. Congrats to Lucas for going undefeated tonight with his mid-range E-deck. Mid-range non-Aurora E-deck. It seems like we didn't see an Aurora there all 3 games, so I think it's safe to say that's the non-Aurora variant, which I approve. So congrats to Lucas for going undefeated at tonight's Riftbound Nexus Night, our final Origins-only Nexus Night. Lucas is going to go undefeated and win himself 5 Origins packs for $10. Pretty good. Pretty good. But yeah, that is a tough matchup there. But just played it well. White Flame, just a big, beefy boy. Hard to overcome. Dakota doing his own little brew on Ahri, I think. Very, very power hungry, this list. You could really see Dakota was rune starved both games 2 and 3. Just makes it really hard to come back. If you're like never in Thousand Tail range, that's like half the power of an Ahri deck is Thousand Tail Watcher. So yeah, it was tough, but good game to those players. Congrats again to Lucas, and thanks again to everybody for joining us here at Impact Gaming Center for Riftbound's Nexus Night. I've been Art here with you in the booth. Looking forward to seeing everybody next week for some Spirit Forge. It'll be the first week of Spirit Forge constructed, so that'll be exciting. Be opening my own case here tomorrow. See how we do. If it's anything like Origins, it'll be not bad, not great. My Origins case was nothing special. Wasn't bad. Had a couple overnumbered, but no signatures. Nothing crazy. So we'll see how I do. But otherwise, thank you so much to everybody for joining us tonight. If you haven't already and you like seeing Riftbound paper play content, toss us a follow. We go live every Thursday, 6 p.m. Central. Follows cost you nothing. They're free, baby. And they let the powers that be know that we should keep bringing Riftbound content to the internet. So thank you so much again. If you're joining us on YouTube, make sure to follow us there as well. If you're interested in watching some old Riftbound matches or some Magic the Gathering Modern matches or some Pokemon matches, we have tons of them, hundreds of videos up on our YouTube of old matches. You can go back and check those out anytime. So we encourage you to check us out over there as well. But otherwise, thanks again to everybody for joining us tonight for Riftbound's Nexus Night at Impact Gaming Center. I've been Art with you here in the booth. You've all been beautiful. Thank you so much. Stay safe, wash your hands, and don't forget to make an impact. Peace.